Moving on now. The United States and Iran are back at the table again. Officials from both countries are holding negotiations in Geneva today. This is the third round of indirect nuclear talks. Twice before, hope flickered but then faded. Now the stakes feel heavier. Iran walks in, saying that a deal is within reach. But there is a catch. Tehran insists Washington must recognise its symbolic right to enrich uranium. It wants to dilute its highly enriched stockpile on its own terms, and it refuses to let its ballistic missile program become part of the bargain. Across the table, the message from Washington is sharper. President Donald Trump has built up military assets across the region. He has hinted that if diplomacy fails, strikes are possible. And he has said he will never allow Iran to obtain a nuclear weapon.
My preference is to solve this problem through diplomacy. But one thing is certain, I will never allow the world's #1 sponsor of terror, which they are by far, to have a nuclear weapon. Can't let that happen.
Vice President J.D. Vance has urged Tehran to take the United States seriously. Secretary of State Marco Rubio has gone even further. He says Iran's attempting to develop intercontinental ballistic missiles.
Well, I won't speculate as to how far away they are, but they are certainly trying to achieve, and this is not new, they're trying to achieve intercontinental ballistic missiles. For example, you've seen them try to launch satellites into space. You've seen them increasing the range of the missiles they have now. And clearly they are headed in the pathway to one day being able to develop weapons that could reach the continental U.S.
For Washington, Iran's missiles and nuclear program are closely tied together. For Tehran, they are not. Iran rejects the accusations. It says its uranium enrichment is for civilian needs. And now it's hoping to reach a deal with Washington. President Masoud Pezeshkian claims he has a favorable outlook on the upcoming meeting. Yet, even as diplomats hold negotiations in Geneva, Washington is continuing with its pressure campaign. It has now imposed fresh sanctions on 30 individuals, entities, and vessels. These are said to be enabling illicit Iranian petroleum sales, as well as its weapons production. President Trump's administration has also reportedly moved American F-22 stealth fighter jets to Israel. This adds to the already growing American military presence near Iranian waters, renewing fears of a military attack. A senior Hezbollah official says the group would not intervene in limited US strikes on Iran. But any attack on Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei would cross a red line. So, what is this moment? A genuine diplomatic opening or the calm before a major escalation? The head of the Atomic Energy Agency says that failure to reach a deal could result in something dramatic.
The message is that it's not impossible to reach an agreement that prevents more destruction, more deaths, and more instability in the region. That's not impossible. We have the elements on the table to reach that agreement. So what we're trying to express and convince the participants in that negotiation is that it's possible to get where they want to go, which is that there are no nuclear weapons in Iran through a path other than the path of violence.
So Trump appears to be weighing two separate paths. One leads to a negotiated compromise. The other leads to confrontation. Behind closed doors in Geneva today, sentences will be crafted that could decide whether West Asia moves towards stability or slides into something far more dangerous.
The Narayan-Hiti Palace was lit for dinner. The royal family gathered. Laughter echoed through marble halls. But soon, it all changed. Gunshots rang out, one after another. A night that would shatter a kingdom. In hours, the royals were assassinated. Not in a war or a coup, but in a massacre inside the palace walls. Catch the full story on The Assassination, Saturday at these times.